Okay, so here we go now. What we're going to talk about is that now my back is to the wall. I need to know how to utilize the training that we have undergone to extract myself from this position. So my back's to the wall. I cannot back up, which is like a really bad habit that we develop in martial arts, is moving in and out way too much. So this is going to force me to rotate and to slide. Okay, so we call these the 4 points of entry. Essentially what's happening here, let's just assume that my arm is being pinned, I'm being pushed up against the wall, and that this knife comes in, and I don't have time to get out of the way. So I put my hand up, but immediately I shift my body, and that gives me point of entry A. Okay? So what am I going to do here? I'm already in trouble. I caught the hand, I shift my body, and do point of entry A. And there's a lot of techniques that can evolve out. But what we're focusing on here is I'm being pinned against the wall. And as that thrust comes in, I catch it. I don't want to fight him right here and try to execute my technique, although I can. I just slide and get to that point, and then I'm moving at him and following up. That's what we call point of entry A, okay? So now the same thing happens here, and he comes in, and I'm in this position. So what I do is I move my body here, and this thing kind of hits his arm, cuts his arm, and stabs, and when he puts his hand up, that's called point of entry B. Okay? And so when he comes in, and I catch the hand, I move there, I stab, but he puts his hand up, that's point of entry B. Okay? And that can be utilized and done in a lot of ways. But if I get to here, see, I can enter it here, and that's also point of entry B. Okay? So I utilize this point of entry here. Now, as I push this hand away and I pull him, and that's point of entry C, or also known as opposite arm entry. So I'm learning to do this as I'm pressured here. I put the knife there, I stab the body, and I slam him into the wall, and possibly just take off, or I can use that like that. The other one is when I'm here, I'm being pinned and pushed, so I move to the outside of the arm, and that's point of entry D. So when I'm being pinned up against the wall here, I simply rotate my body, and that can, we're not really talking about so much the disarm technique here, but that's what we call point of entry D. When I'm being pressured, you might even have his hand here, I just turn my body and I get to that position, and that is the pass disarm. So what you're really doing here is sometimes you can see when I do that point of entry A, that's really under the arm, right? And then when I go here, see this could be over the arm. And when I go here, that could be elbow roll, see? And when I go here, that could be passed. See where that's just passed out. And when I go over here and I'm here like that, I just push that away. And that's point of entry C, or opposite arm entry. And I would like you to work those techniques from that position. Okay, critically thing is that I am used to being pushed and pressured here. And see later, see that's where I draw my knife from an obscure position. Sometimes I'm being pressured here, and that's why I insert my hand, and that's also what we call pass. And sometimes I'm being pressured here, and I just catch the arm, and then I go underneath, and that gives me the thing like that. And sometimes I'm being pressured here, and I just move my body and utilize the wall. And this way of practicing is meant to get you to turn your body and to slide your body and to utilize that kind of movement, as opposed to a lot of times when you're resisting that motion back and forth, you're not going to get this. So I'll never get opposite arm entry if I'm resisting, because he's going to stab me the second time right away. But if I understand that I'm really sliding, see, then I can get opposite arm entry quite easily. That's quite easily done at that point. So that's what we call back to the wall. Give your opponent increasing levels of pressure and have him execute the techniques which he has already learned under that pressure.